What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time it is. And welcome back to yet another video with you, man, Immersiaholic. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another online battle for the divided into Impera overhaul mod for Total War Rome 2. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Iceni, played by my good friend Andre Lingard, taking on the Medewi, played by the infamous God. This is going to be an epic matchup. Two absolutely contrasting factions. Although they do have similar kind of play styles. But I mean, man, you almost could not pick any two factions that are further away from each other. Almost. But this is going to be a really fun battle. This was submitted by my good friend Andre Lingard, who submitted a bunch of replays, so massive thanks to him. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the roster of the Iceni, and then we'll go through the Medewi after that. Alrighty, everybody, let's check out the entire left flank, and we'll do this whole group, and then we'll work our way to the right. So, let's open up the UI. In the far left rear of the Iceni army composition, we have two Britannic Retainer Horsemen, basically melee cavalry for the Iceni. In front of them, we have two Sword Masters, very good shock entry, and they're two-handed wielding swordsmen, by the way. We then have some Britannic Retainer Spearmen, very solid spearmen, kind of similar to the Lusitani Spearmen, especially like their veterans. We then have Britannic Retainer Swordsmen, We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units of those. And then the second row of those, behind those, we have Britannic Druids, 1 unit there, second here. And then on the far right, we have more Britannic Retainer Spearmen. In the third battle line, we have Britannic Slingers. Are these spear slingers? No, they're not. Huh, that's interesting, but these guys do have axes. You can tell that not only by looking at their axes that are sheathed, which you can see some of them. For example, like right there, that's an axe. But you can also tell just by looking at the weapon damage. 16 weapon damage doesn't seem like a lot, but then they have 12 weapon damage on their own, so that's why you can tell that they're an Axeman unit. On the far deep right hand flank, we have another unit of Swordmasters, more Britannic Retainer Horsemen. We then have a Britannic Skirmisher unit, which is a Javelin unit. Then we have Britannic Heavy Horse for the General, which is another melee cav unit. I like it. I like to see a lot of melee cav. But anyway, let's check out the Medewi roster once we can see just a little bit more of it. Alrighty, guys, we can't see all of the Medewi army, so I am just going to cover what we can. We can see about 17 or so units, so let's hit pause really quickly, and then we'll go over the Medewi roster from left to right. So first up, we have 3 units of Ethiopian light cavalry, basically lightly armored skirmishers. They have some decent melee stats, so 11 attack, 8 defense. We then have a very large front line of a couple different types of units, I believe. So on the left, we have Ethiopian swordsmen, 300 men strong. We then have Ethiopian medium infantry, which is an Axeman unit. We have 1 unit of those, another unit of those, so 2, 3, yeah, that's the same, 4, and 5 units of Axemen. Far right hand flank, we have more Ethiopian swordsmen. In the second line, so far, all we can see is Meroitic pikemen. There's 2 units of those, which these guys use the shorter pikes, so they're not a Sarissa pike by any means, but still, a pikeman unit will function in a similar kind of manner, just a little bit more maneuverability. In the far rear, we have 3 units of Ethiopian Axemen. And then on the far deep right-hand flank, we have elephants. Everyone loves to see some elephants. We have just some standard African elephants here. How many is total? 18? Yep, 18 elephants. And then we have a general, which is a Meroitic Royal Cav unit, which is a melee Cav unit, and actually pretty good too. So this is going to be really cool. I will try to point out more Medewi units as they become available, but I believe that's most of the roster. I think we're just missing maybe some skirmishers from the Medewi side. I'm not sure if they did bring any, but we can only see like 17 or so of their units. So I'll try to point them out as they do appear on the battlefield, but we can't wait forever, everyone. We have a very spread out formation here. Medewi trying to do some serious skirmishing in this battle, obviously. So perhaps the slingers of the Iceni will be really good at countering that. We'll see. I'm not really sure what each person's game plan is here, though. Typically with the Medewi, they use axes and armor-piercing damage quite heavily, so you would expect a bit of a rush from the Medewi. The Iceni, their slingers are one of their best weapons. They do have chariots, but the player is not using that in this battle. Andre isn't using them. I know God loves his skirmishing, so I'm expecting big things from the light horsemen over here. But they are being kept at bay by some slingers. A single slinger unit with a spearman unit in front. Very nice play, but Andre's gonna have to really micromanage that quite heavily to make sure that he doesn't waste his units and let him get charged. Looks like we're about to get a full frontal charge across the front lines from both sides here. Both sides are going to be relying on a cavalry charge. I mean, not a cavalry charge, just a good infantry charge. Oh, hello! Cavalry is getting very, very close right here. Ooh, trying to get the slingers. Iceni had to come out of their position over there to try and stop that, which they did just in time, but that was a little scary. Oh, Medewi player, God coming in, being a little sly. I like it. Almost scared me, my man. Fire out. I wasn't ready. 10 more minutes left of the battle, guys. I love it. I love seeing things that you don't expect in battles. I'm still wondering if we're going to see more Medewi units. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we're just seeing 17 Medewi units. There should be a couple more at least. I think. Maybe not. We shall see. I'll try to keep an eye out for it, guys. Medewi like have flanking around the side. They are being checked by slingers though of the Iceni, both units over there. Good play by Andre, but uh-oh. Oh no, too late. His front line got charged. Medewi definitely has the advantage across that whole front line. Well, these guys might be doing some friendly fire there. The elephants on the Medewi are coming around, and they have a general accompanying them. That's a little risky in my opinion. Having your elephants so isolated, it's good because it means if they run amok, they won't get friendly kills really. But these are two very, very valuable units, and they're way off on the edge of the battlefield. They have basically no support, at least none that we can see, so it's a little scary for God. If he plays it wrong, he could really end up wasting a lot of money and his general. Medewi units charging into the druids now. Druids getting involved with their white armor, very cool helmets. Good luck to them, but I don't know. This is oh, here we go. Now we're seeing the other Medewi units. This is a Kushite painted warrior unit, skirmisher unit, another one. So that's 19 units we can see. Is there another one that we can't see yet? Possibly. But those guys will help decimate the Iceni infantry, which the Iceni are probably going to lose his main front line, because from here down in that box, all of those units on the Iceni side got charged. But what the hell? How are they turning this around right here? Medium infantry getting cut down, but he's retained her swordsman. Maybe they got friendly fire by the jabs? I'm not sure. That is interesting. Andre doing a really good job though, keeping his flanks secure. Just by a couple of slinger units, cavalry, and spears nearby. And all of a sudden, this skirmisher contingent by God is not getting the kills it needs to in order to be effective. So he's probably going to have to find another way to be effective with them. His elephants, same kind of deal. They're getting denied the flanking opportunities. Slingers are hitting them really nicely. They shouldn't make them go crazy or anything, berserk, but yeah, can definitely do some serious damage. The Iceni are actually smashing through the front line. What the hell? How did that happen? Look at this. This is ridiculous almost. Wow. I mean, I know the Iceni got some charges up here. I think like 2 of their units got a little bit of a charge. But I'm surprised the axemen of the Medewi aren't doing better. And the swordsmen on the flanks, but look at that. We have more units coming in. I mean, we do have the swordmasters of the Iceni coming in, but they're hardly even doing any fighting. They're stuck behind their other friendly units. But yeah, essentially, the flanks of the Medewi are being nullified while the Iceni just get to work. Oh, bad charge on the Iceni cav there. Not good for them. Oh, slingers exposed. But this cav unit's coming in to charge in as well. So it's probably a worthwhile sacrifice. Those Cav have to get killed though. Look at that, they knocked out a slinger. And they're escaping with quite a few of their men left. Yeah, Iceni player definitely wants to chase those guys down as quickly as he can. God always does well with his cavalry. Speaking of Cav, here comes the general. And the elephants. Oh, no. I thought they were charging him, but they're not. Oh, the slingers on the Iceni are still harassing them. How frustrating for Andre. I mean, for God. Geo at this point just needs to move his elephants around. Get him away from those slingers. The right-hand flank of the Medewi has been entirely annihilated by now. And their front line was basically shattered except for the left over here. So they need to basically reform their line in a situation somewhere over here around this green line and get the cavalry involved. Because the Medewi have the cavalry advantage, they're just not able to use it because of the spears and slingers. That's such intelligent gameplay. Really, really impressed by Andre here. Geody's trying to find holes. I mean, he did really good to annihilate the slingers right here. Look at this. Uh-oh. Bit of a mistake. Very cheeky. Geody's getting some sneak shots on the rear of the Iceni general. Uh-oh. That could be very lethal if Andre doesn't pick on that quickly. Oh no. It's not good for him, but he's busy micromanaging. He has all of these infantry cav units to deal with. He's losing men though. Will the charge come in from the Medewi? I really like to see that charge come in. That would be too late. Oh no, they lost it. Man, that could have been savage if the Medewi got a charge. I would have actually liked to have seen them try at least. Oh no, the Medewi are too close. They're gonna get caught by the general. Yeah, once they're that close and the unit gets in a charging animation, it's almost impossible to outrun a charging animation. Although they actually kind of are now. They did take some losses, but the majority of the unit did get away, so it's not too bad. Both armies are kind of regrouping. The Iceni are forming up here. Have some units over here still. How are the elephants doing? Have they got any kills yet? Still 0 kills. Wow. The majority of the Medewi army has been routed, and the elephants still haven't done any damage whatsoever. They're just being constantly harassed by these slingers. Oh no, they're way exposed though. Massive mistake there. Uh-oh. Now watch these elephants get involved. Let's see these kills rake up really quickly for the Medewi elephants. The entire battle basically hinges on these elephants doing well now for the Medewi. That's the only way they're going to bring it back. Yep, shattered one unit off a single charge. These slingers are still alive. Uh-oh. Needs to charge in his cavalry, pin down those slingers, and then have elephants come in, but no. Bad news for the Medewi player. 3 units of slingers are still left alive. I don't know how much their ammunition's at, but that cannot be good. Not for them. He's basically down to cavalry only. Oh no, 3 units of infantry there. Skirmisher cav unit out here is getting caught, so that's probably about to die, maybe? Or maybe not, actually. It's okay. But, like, see this right here? I think that's a bit of a mistake on Andre's part, though. He's getting drawn out away from his battle lines. So his infantry is exposed and his cavalry is exposed. So right now, God could do a charge with both his cav units and probably knock out this unit. Or what he could do instead is come in and charge against the slingers. And if he kills those slingers, or if they run out of ammo, Medewi player can definitely swing this back in his favor. Medewi general popping an intimidate buff, but coming in doesn't matter because the elephants have to retreat. They're getting hit by slingers. Very frustrating for the Medewi player. Are the slingers on stalk ability? No, they're not. I just wanted to double check that. Neither are the Britannic skirmishers. Man, yeah. There's just way too many Iceni units now. Surely. I think God came in with a good army, but I'm really surprised at how his front line just got crapped on. And he even got the charge across most of the Iceni units, but I don't know, man. I really need to figure out what happened there. Maybe the stats of the end of the battle will help us figure it out. The Iceni general over here charging an elephant unit for some reason. Oh my goodness, that is not what you want to see. Iceni general's now dead. And the Medewi have 5 units left on the battlefield. One's a general and one's an elephant, though. Like, okay, this is not how you want to throw away a battle. Uh-oh. Look, this is not ideal. Elephants are trying to charge in. Not a very good charge, though. And they're starting to die. They've taken so much hit point damage now, they're actually quite fragile. 17 out of 18. How many kills are they at? 125, which is okay, but still nowhere near good enough. And they need to route more units. It's not just about kills with elephants. Or any unit, but you know what I mean. Elephants, you expect good kills and for them to route whole flanks of enemy armies. Medewi cavalry finally shattered right there. Andre will be happy about that. The elephants are getting involved, but the infantry are almost done for the Medewi. Here comes their general. Yeah, their general's gonna die here. He gets charged. I see the infantry coming in, cavalry's coming in. Yeah, there it is there. A shatter across the entire Medewi line. And the Iceni get a close victory. That was a really cool battle. Very interesting tactics by both players. They both had immense skill. So let's go to the stats screen and then we'll end it there. Alrighty, everybody. Here we are at the statistics screen. And what the freaking hell happened with that front line? The Medewi got the charge. They had pretty good units. The Axemen are definitely no joke. But these Axemen combined with the two-handed Axemen of the Medewi got absolutely crapped on. I have no idea what happened, but somehow all of the frontline units of the Iceni did excellent, getting well over 100 kills across the board, which is very good for units that have these kind of stats. They're basically mid-tier. And then the two-handed Swordmaster units came in. 2 of them did absolutely insane with their kills. 519 kills, although I feel like we can't look into that too much. They probably killed a bunch of the unarmored units, I'm guessing. Because 519 kills with like less than 5% losses to her unit. Chances are they've probably killed like a routing unit or 2, so that's where a lot of those kills came from. But still, I mean, they must have done something to get those kills. 289 on this unit. The other unit only had 37 kills, which sucks, but the unit was basically entirely intact, so that's okay. Just yet, all of the swords of the Iceni did amazing. Their 2 Druidic units also did really well, getting around 200 kills each. Very good. The Spearmen didn't really do a lot. I'm not really too sure if they contributed to the rest of the battle, but yeah, their kills were, you know, pathetic. But they are Spearmen, so they're not expected to get a lot of kills. The Cavalry of the Iceni actually didn't do too well with their kills, but 2 of their units were fully intact. One of their units, which had 150 kills, which is respectable for their unit, was almost wiped out. Just around 40 or so % left. The general, though, that general got thrown away. That was a little risky by Andre. That kind of had me scared there for a minute at the end of the battle. Especially that late, when a lot of your units are tired, seeing your general get thrown away, charging an elephant head on. At least that's what it looked like. Woo! That's a big bold play, but thankfully it didn't come back to bite Andre in the butt. His slingers didn't do very well, though, which is kind of surprising because, I mean, they played their role, but kill-wise, they did hardly anything. But I would still say that they were very much worth it, and arguably, these slingers won him the battle, which might not make sense to some of you, and it might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration. However, they basically absolutely stopped a quarter of the Medewi army from getting involved in the battle as heavily as they could have. All of the cavalry units, including the elephants of the Medewi, were targeted by the slingers. And when you have 3 very, very cheap units, basically denying 2 very expensive units and 3 other decently expensive units, at least when compared to slingers, when you have those kinds of units being denied basically access to the battle for a large majority of the battle, then that's just very impressive work by the player with the slingers. And Andre did a fantastic job of protecting his flanks despite being outnumbered on the flanks in terms of cavalry, at least in most parts, although his right flank was going okay. But like the elephants and the general, they could have got a little bit more involved, and they could have really swung in the Medewi favor, and they basically needed their cavalry to win. I think the only real big mistake on the Medewi part is relying on these skirmishes. Yeah, they got some nice kills here, and they did get like a cheeky charge against a single slinger unit, but I would have rather seen maybe some melee cav coming from the Medewi. And I know God loves to use his skirmisher cav, so props to him for trying, but all of his units don't have very good armor or all that great melee defense. And if you want skirmisher cavalry to do well, you need time in a battle for them to earn their kills. And when you have a army that's basically a rush build, that's what God has here essentially, it's going to be very unlikely that these skirmisher cav have enough time to actually get the kills that they needed. And to be honest, I'm quite shocked that they did as well as they did kills wise. Again, I know they annihilated one slinger unit, so that might be where a lot of those kills came from, but there was other rear charges coming in, so yeah, I'm quite surprised they did as well as they actually did statistically, at least according to the stat screen here. But yeah, maybe getting like 1 or 2 more units of melee cav at least to hold the flanks, and then instead of focusing on more skirmishers or just more units to contribute to the rush, that could have been really good. But his lines of swordsmen and axemen, I mean, it was a really nice line, but I'm surprised they didn't do as well as they did. And I'd be really interested if GOD's watching this, if he could let me know if he was also surprised how well the Iceni main line did, because I was really expecting the Medewi to stomp them. That's been my experience going up against the Medewi, although I do rely on spears sometimes when I fight them, which is a big mistake. So yeah, very interesting battle and some very skillful play, especially on the slingers. But also, despite being a disadvantage on the flanks, God still did a lot of serious damage to Andre, and he still got kills with his cavalry that most other players wouldn't be able to get when you're going up against someone like Andre, who's using their spears and slingers so well. So absolutely massive props to both guys. They both did really, really well. This is a really fun and entertaining battle, and even though it was kind of quick, it's one of those battles where you learn a lot. And these are the types of players that, to those of you who are new to the competitive DEI scene, these are guys you want to pay attention to, take notes, and consider using their tactics in your own battles. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.